Alright guys, welcome to the YpnConnect channel, and we are going to be looking at this project 0x05C pointers, arrays and string. Okay, I welcome you to this channel, and if you are a new or if you are just coming across this channel for the first time, please don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and give our videos a thumbs up. And if you are a returning subscriber, please, I urge you to watch this video to the end. Alright, as I'll be this channel is dedicated to help you to grow as we grow together in the web development and programming journey. So we give you tips and tricks, and we give you resource materials on how to get you ahead on your journey of becoming a software developer. Okay, so first is first, like we've always done, we look through the project quiz together. Okay, in case you have any challenge with that. Okay, so I'll just quickly open that first before we do any other thing. So these are the solutions to the quiz questions. Alright, for this that will be this. Then for question 1 that will be this. Then for 2 we'll have this, and question 3 will be this. For 4 that will be this, and question 5 will have this. Please, I don't want this video to be too long, so we might not have time to do all the explanations you may need. Okay, but I'll do something. I'll drop the link to learn the C programming language by Sam. Okay, I'll drop the link of that recommended book in the link in the description of this video. All right, you can always refer to that. You can always go through it. It will guide you. Alright, and if you have further questions, you can always drop them in the comment section. I read every comment. You drop. Okay, so for question 9 that will be that, and 10 it is for 11 have 20 bytes, and lastly this is that. Alright, so in case you haven't done this, I believe this is going to help you to get it done as soon as possible, so that you can continue on your learning journey. Alright, haven't done that, I'll quickly move up and we just look through the requirement. Again, these are the resource links. Please ensure you go through them. This video is never a substitute for going through you are going to learn a lot of stuff from those resources. So looking at the project requirements, this is similar to what we have been doing before now. Alright, they said our code will be tested with Betty to ensure it follows the Betty style and is Betty compliant and follows Betty documentation. Then we should have a readme.md file, the root of the folder of the project. Then we should create a file main.h and push that file to the remote repository. Alright, so that's what is expected of us. So we are going to, first things first, we are going to move into our repository. Okay, so let me make this 2, split that screen. Okay, so then get a sandbox web term. Alright, so the first thing, you ensure that you are in the root directory. Have we done that? You cd into ALS low level programming. Okay, so AV, paste that. Alright, now we are in ALS low level programming. Then we make this directory. Okay, the first thing now is to go ahead and create this directory. So I'll just copy that. You come here, you use mkdir, which stands for make directory. You paste the name. If I press tab, alright, so it's telling us that I cannot create directory because it already exists. That is because I already created this directory. So if you've not, since you've not done that before, if you use mkdir and the name of the directory, you are going to succeed in creating that directory. So since I have that already and that exists already, I'm going to use cd. We are going to move it to that directory. So while you create yours, we are still on the same step, on the same at the same level. So after creating it using mkdir, you're going to cd, then the name of the directory. So if I press tab, you see I am now inside the 0 times 0 5 pointer arrays and string directory. All right, so we are on the same step, guys, on the same step. Okay, haven't done that, then you discover here in the requirement they said we should have a readme file at the root of the folder of the project. Okay, so where is the root of the folder of this project? That should be here, this directory that we just created. So we should have a readme file. How do you create a readme file? There are two ways to do that. You can either use echo, then the content, okay, to create a readme file, you can either use echo, then the content of your readme file. For this, I always like using the project title, the title of the project. But either way, you can go ahead to create to use the questions for the tags, for the individual tags. You can copy the questions here. You can copy all of this. For task 0, you can go ahead, copy this, then move down, copy for task 1 and put all of them together, probably in your notepad, and paste them in your readme file. But for the sake of this video and this project, I'll use the title, just this, as the readme. So I'll copy that, I come here, Ctrl A V, I paste, Ctrl A V, I paste that. AV, okay, I paste that. So after that, you give a space, then the greater than sign. Where are you writing that content into the readme.md file? All right, so when you do this successfully, you press enter, then to end up creating this readme file. This is just one way to do that. Another way to create a readme file is to use vi. All right, is to use vi. So you can just do vi, then the name of that file, readme.md. If we do .md and press enter, all right, it will take us, directly to what? To where? To vi. Okay, so it will take us directly to vi. Sorry, let me go back. Okay, this was not spelled correctly. All right, ought to be vi readme.md. all right, if we do that, we press enter, takes us directly to vi. So what do we have here? This is the content of my readme file. So since you don't have yours, you can go ahead, like I said, and put the heading of this file. If you don't like that, you can copy the questions of each task individually and paste everything inside the readme. All right, so that is both valid, but always ensure that your readme.md file is not empty. So when you have done that successfully, and come here and escape and do your column WQ, all right, and press tab. Okay, so when you are done with that, you can escape and do your column WQ. Okay, so you have successfully created a readme.md file, the root of this directory, this. Okay, so have we done that? The next thing we want to do now is to come here, again for the project requirement. They said we should, the prototype of all your functions, I'm reading from here, of the functions underscore put char should be included in your header file called main.h. Don't forget to push your header file. So that means we should have main.h file. So I'll just go ahead to copy that file name. Again, you do vi, paste that, and if I press enter, so this is supposed to be the content of your main.h file. All right, don't bother yourself too much about this. These are just code comments. All right, then you have include standard input output.h header. This standard, then IO is input output, then this Unix standard header. All right, you include this and you put all of this integer, char, character, and all of that. So you type this in exactly the way it is here. All right, so when you have done that successfully, okay, this is supposed to be the content of your main.h file. So done that successfully, you press column escape column WQ. Since I'm not saving anything, I'll just quit, just use column Q. All right, press enter. So we have successfully created our main.h file. So the next thing you do, they said don't forget to push your header file, which is main.h. So before any other thing now, we have to push our main.h. So how do you push? You git add dot, you press enter. After doing that, you git commit. Remember, we are pushing our main.h. Commit message, which of course is the name of the file. You press enter, then you do git push. You do git push and press enter. So after doing that, you must have successfully pushed your main.h file to your GitHub repository. All right, so after doing that, you can now start solving the tasks individually. So I believe that is clear. I believe that's clear enough for you to understand how to proceed with the tasks. So having done that, we now go ahead to solve our first task. Okay, so for this first task, I write a function that takes a pointer to an integer as parameter and update the value it points to 98. Okay, so again, we come here, we copy the file name, Ctrl C copy, paste that, Ctrl VI, Ctrl AV, you press enter. All right, so you are going to type this in as the contents of your 0 reset to 98 file. All right, so you type this in. After doing that, then you can escape column WQ and press enter. So when you do that successfully, you can do your Betty to check if it's in compliance with Betty documentation and if it's compliant with Betty style and Betty documentation. So Betty, so AV, the file name, you press tab. So since it did not return any error, that means it is correct. It is compliant, is Betty compliance and follows Betty documentation. So after having done that, you do your git add dot, then you do your git commit fm, your commit message, and you do your git push. press tab, then you push to the remote. So when you do that successfully, you can now come here to check your code. So you can see for the first one is all green, so that means it's correct. So we can move to the next task, which is this. Write a function that swaps the values of two integers. Alright, so first is first, we can go ahead to copy the file name. So we can do vi Control A V. So this should be the content of this file, oneswap.c. So when you come here, you type this in. Remember to press your tap of your I key to enable you to start writing your VI. So after putting in this content, then you can go ahead to press escape, then :WQ. Escape :WQ. So after doing that, again you can do your Betty. Again, you see that it passed the Betty test, no error. If this was not Betty compliant, there will be some error, either white space error or the output. There are some, what is it called? There are some inputs that were not correct. All right, but as you can see, there's no error message here. So since that is correct, you can do your git add dot, press enter, then git commit. I'm not going to do this again because I've already pushed this to my remote repository. Git commit -m, your commit message, of course the name of the file. You press enter, then you do your git push. Do your git. If you do that correctly, you press enter, then you can come here and check your code for this. Alright, so you can see it's all green, that means that is correct. So you can move to the next task. This, copy vi, paste that, press tab. Okay, don't bother about this. I don't want to bother my head about this. Let me just quit and show you the code. For the second one, please, this is the code. Input this code the way it is to this point. This is the name of the file. Don't put that in. So input this for that question 2. Put this in. All right. Okay, you put this in your VI. All right. So after doing that, you can do your escape :WQ. You save and quit. Then you get out of VI. So you do your Betty and paste the file name. All right. I believe you are following. You do your Betty and paste the file name. All right. Don't want to keep doing one step at a time. You do Betty, the file name, you check for Betty. If that did not show error, you can then do your git add dot, enter, then do git commit. Your commit message the way it is, type it like this, then press enter, then you do your git push. Do your git push and press enter. So if you did that correctly, then you can come down here to check your code. So you see it's all green. That means that is correct. Okay, Meanwhile, like I said earlier, the file, the document for the code will be in the description of this video, so you can go through that, go through it to help you in for your practice and in typing out the code. So for the next question, it says write a function that print a string followed by a new line to standard output. STD out stands for standard output. All right, so again we come down, copy our file name, copy, then we can come here and do VI, Control AV. So again, this should be the content of that file. Okay, you can type this in. This should be the content of that file. All right, type this in. Should be the content. I believe that this should not be strange. You have your include. You are including the main.h file. Then you have your comments. These are multi-line comments up to this point. Then you have your function declaration. Okay, function name and character, and then you have your open curly brace. Then this is the while loop, and your picture increment this. So that's just that. So if you type that correctly, then you can save and exit, do your escape, :WQ. All right, so you press tab, you get out of there. Let me clear this. So if that was successful, then you can go ahead and do your Betty. Alright, you see that Betty did not return any error. So if Betty is correct, you go ahead and do git add, press enter, git commit, your commit message, alright, git commit your commit message, then you do git push. Okay, so after you press enter, then it will be pushed to your remote repository. Okay, if you did that successfully, then you can come here and check your code. You see, it's all correct, so you can move to the next task. Write a function that print a string in reverse followed by a new line. Okay, so again you go ahead, copy the name of the file, copy the file name, do VI, Control AV and press enter. Okay, so this should be the content of that that question, the file. This should be the content. So you go ahead and type this in. So when you are done, you can now press escape, then :WQ, alright, and press enter. So you exit and you do your Betty to check if it follows, if it's Betty compliant and follows Betty documentation style. So you do your Betty. Okay, you see that it did not return any error for Betty, so you can now do git add, enter, then git commit, commit message, you press enter, then you do your git push and press enter. So if that was done successfully, you can come here and check your code. You see, it's all correct. So you can now move to the next question. For this, it says write a function that reverses a string. A function that reverses a string. This is your prototype. You can look at that. So we go ahead to copy the file name. Okay, press copy. Then I come back to my terminal, I do VI, Control A V, I paste that file name, I press tab. Alright, it takes me straight to VI. I've typed this already, so this should be the content of that reverse string, that reverse string question. You type this in exactly. Okay, after doing that, you press your escape, then column WQ. Alright, since I have that already, I'll just quit by using Q. Okay, press start. So have you done that successfully? You can go ahead and do your Betty, name of the file to check. Alright, it did not return any error. That means it's Betty compliant and followed the Betty documentation style. So have you done that, you do your git add, press enter, then git commit, commit message, you press enter, then you do your git push, you press enter. So that is just that. When you do that successfully, then your code will be pushed to the remote repository and you can go ahead to check your code. You see, it's all checked. That means it is correct. So I can close this and move to the next question. Have the lies they tell about me are true? Really that. So write a function that prints every other character of a string starting with the first character followed by a new line. So this is the prototype. So again, you can go ahead, copy this file name. Okay, copy that, then you come here, you do VI, you paste the file name, take you to VI. Alright, so this is supposed to be the content of that file. Alright, you type this in exactly the way it is. Okay, so when you are done doing that, you can do your escape, then column WQ, and you press enter. So have you done that? You go ahead and do your Betty. So Betty is correct. So if Betty is correct, you can go ahead and do git add, enter, then git commit, a commit message. Alright, enter, then you do git push, you press enter. Have you done that? Your code will be pushed to the remote repository. Okay, so after that, you can now come here and check. So it's all green, that means this is correct. So we move to the next task. Write a function that prints half of a string followed by a new line. This is the prototype. Your function should print the second half of the string and all that. So you go ahead, you come down here, copy the file name, 7puts_half.c, Ctrl C to copy, then you do VI, you paste with Ctrl AV, you enter into VI. Okay, again, never to worry, I'm going to show you the code. I don't want to disrupt what I have here, so let me just okay. For the 7th task, please don't, that shouldn't bother you. The code I will paste the code in the link to that will be pasted in the description to this video. Alright, that shouldn't be a problem at all. The link to that will be pasted in the description of this video. Okay, so when you do that, after inputting your code, you come here for the 7th task, 7puts_half.c, you do Betty, Ctrl AV. Alright, To check for Betty, then you can go ahead and do git add dot, enter, then do git commit -m, your commit message, enter, then you do git push, enter. So when you do that successfully, you can come back here and check. You can see we are correct, so that means that was done rightly. Okay, then we move to this. Said write a function that prints an element of an array of integers followed by a new line. Okay, so come down here, copy the file name, Ctrl C, we do VI, Ctrl AV, press enter. So this should be the content of that file, of this 8 print array.c. So this should be the content. Don't need to explain again all of this. I believe this should not be new. This is the head, we included the main.h header. Then you have this is the comment section, then the function. Okay, the function. Alright, so when you type that in correctly, you can go ahead and do your escape, :WQ, save and quit. Alright, or just quit, enter, clear my screen. So after doing that, then you check for Betty, control the name of the file. Betty says there's no problem. If there was a problem, it will show error, that white space, trailing white space, or the output was not correct, the input rather. So since Betty is correct, you can now do git add, enter, you tap enter, then git commit -m, the file name, our commit message, enter, then you can now do git push and press enter. So when you successfully do that, when you follow the steps correctly, you can come here and check your code. So you see, this one is all checked. That means this question was done rightly. So we move to the next task. The 9th one is write a function that copies the string pointed by a source, including the terminating null byte 0 to the buffer pointed to by the DST. Okay, that is destination. Return value, the pointer to the destination, all of that. So let's first things first, copy the file name, which is this. Alright, go ahead and copy that using Ctrl C. Then I'll come to my terminal, I'll do VI, Ctrl AV, I paste that, I entitle VI. So this should be, you type this the way it is, the content of that file, you type it in the way it is here. Then when you type that successfully, you can do your escape, then :WQ. Alright, press enter. Okay, so if you do that correctly, you go ahead and check for Betty file name, press enter, leave dash. Alright, did not return any error. Since there was no error for Betty, go ahead and do your git add dot, enter, then do your git commit -m, put in your commit message, enter, then you do your git push, enter. So if that was done rightly, then you can come here and check if your code is correct. So it's all ticked, that means it's correct. I can close this now, move to the next task. 10th one. Alright, so I come here, I copy the file name, Ctrl C to copy, come back, I do VI, Ctrl AV, I paste that in, I press enter. Alright, so okay, so this should be the content of that file. Okay, that's the edition, everything. All right. The documents, the codes will be dropped in the description. In case, I believe that there's include main.h should be in the end of this file. All right. You can, when you get hold of the document, you compare with this. All right. Compare with this. So, have you typed this? You can now do escape, then column WQ and press enter. Please let me restart this down. We do escape, then column WQ, enter. Okay, so if you do that correctly, then you can now check for Betty, then your file name. It didn't return error for Betty, you can now do git add. Press enter, then git commit, your commit message, enter, and lastly you do your git push, you press enter. So if that was done successfully, you can come here to check your code. Mine is correct. I believe yours should be correct too if you follow these steps. Okay, so we go ahead to move to the last but not the least question. I go ahead to copy the file name, copy. Of course, this is the question. Create a program that generates random valid password for the program this. Crack me, you can go ahead and enter that. Alright, you are not allowed to use the standard library and all that. So let's go ahead and do VI, Ctrl AV. Alright, so this is what you are supposed to type in. So create a program that generates random valid password for the program So this is what you are supposed to type in. Okay, supposed to type this in the way it is here. Alright, so when you do that rightly, you can go ahead and do your escape, then column WQ. Alright, and press enter. So if you do that successfully, go ahead and do Betty, then the file name, Since Betty, there was no error for Betty, you can do your git add dot enter git commit -m your commit message, enter, and you can do your git push. So you press enter, that will be pushed to the remote repository. Okay, so when you do that successfully, lastly you can come here and check your code. So this is correct as well. I believe that you shouldn't have any challenge with this particular project because I have explained, I have given a very detailed explanation to each of the tasks, how I did them. I've showed you the code, and the link to this video, the document to the code will be dropped. Alright, so I believe that there shouldn't be a problem. If you come across any other challenge apart from the ones we've solved so far, you can drop them in the description, in the comment section of this video. Alright, keep coding, guys. Keep coding, keep working on your tasks. Okay, I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.